Hey, welcome everyone. This is Mike from ZoZoStockWatch.com, and this is going to be your Let's Get Ready for the week ahead and some stocks to watch for Monday and the next couple of days. So this is your Let's Get Ready for the week ahead, March 4th through March 8th. So on Friday, the markets were up. The Dow Jones closing up 110, the Nasdaq up 63, and the S&P 500 was up 19 points for Friday. For the week, the Nasdaq was up a little under 1%. The S&P 500 was up about 0.5%, we'll call it. The Dow Jones, the Dow 30 were down about fractionally for the week, but the diamonds were up for the week fractionally. We also had the IBB was very strong, almost up 4% for the week on the IBB. The biotechs were very hot this past week. The IWM for the week that passed was up fractionally, and we had the IGV, the software application index, that was up a little under 1%. The SMH was up fractionally for the week. For the week, Nat Gas made a nice strong move. We had the Nat Gas UNG up 4.41% for the week. The bond yield was up over 3% on the week. TLT was down this week. Forgot to mention that earlier. TLT was down 2.39%. So when the TLT moves down, rates move up. Also, the UUP, the dollar, was up this week. The dollar ETF UUP was up fractionally. So as the dollar moves up, gold moves down. And as you can see, Jade Nug was down about 20% for the week. Gold GLD was down almost 3% for the week. Oil had a tough week, down 2.5% on the week for light sweet crude oil, closing at on that $55.80 per barrel for light sweet crude oil. Silver was also down about 5% for the week that passed, and the steel stocks pulled back 1.25% on the week, the SLX. Out on social media, we're starting to see, a lot of tweets like this. The bull run reaches exhaustion here. So let's go ahead and take a look at the S&P 500. As you can see, I'm pointing out here this candle. Now we're up 9 weeks in a row on the S&P 500. We did close up the week, all right, but as you can see, the bulls had to kind of make a defense here. A little bit of an indecisive candle. We're going to see now if we can get further follow through, or are we going to get a slight pullback, maybe down to this 2700 area on the S&P 500. We'll go ahead and look at the SPY on the daily chart. And as you can see, the SPY, we are up at this supply zone on the SPY, that 281 area, buyer's exhaustion. We are holding above the fast-moving averages, holding above the 5 EMA, the yellow line you see here, yellow dotted line, and we are holding above the 10 SMA on the S&P 500. We did come down and test it. We got as low as 278.82. The 10 SMA is 278.73 currently, so that's an area to watch on the SPY. If that should break, the 20 SMA is right down below at 275.49, 275.50 area for the S&P 500. As I mentioned, the IBB was very strong for the week that passed. For the week, the IBB was up almost 4% on the week, so very nice move here in the IBB. If we go ahead and check out some of the sector performance here, the XBI for the week was up 7% on the week. The Spider Biotech ETF, the XRT, the retail ETF, was up 2.26%. The XHE, the healthcare equipment, up over 1.5%. And then we had the XLE, the energy sector, up 1% with oil being down. To the downside, we had the metals and mining ETF down over over 2% for the week. The airline sector was down 2% for the week. Home builders dropped as interest rates moved up a little bit, down about 1.5% on the XHB. And then XLB, the materials sector, was down a little under 1.5% for the week. Here's the heat map from Friday. Google was up almost 2% on the day. Facebook was up about 0.5%. Amazon had a strong day on Friday, up a little under 2% on the day. Microsoft was up. Some of the banks got a little fractional buying here in some of the banks. Apple was up over 1% on the day Friday. Walmart was down Friday 1%. Some of the oil stocks, XOM and CVX, were having a strong day on Friday. So that's some of your, that's a heat map from Finviz. We'll go ahead and look through some charts from Finviz. As you can see, the diamonds, the Dow Jones, the ETF for the diamonds, having a big strong move off the December lows here and non-stop up on these daily looks here. Gold took a hit this week, down. Hack pushed up further. The cyber and securities ETF, IBB, as mentioned, very strong. The IWM showing some good strength here, holding up. The IYT transports rolling over a little bit for the week. The marijuana ETF kind of just staying stable above the moving averages there. JNUG taking a big move down. Nugget also. OIH still struggling to get back above the trend line there. QID, nothing much going on there. No weakness in the markets as of now. SPXU, same thing. SMH moving up fractionally for the week on these sector charts. TIVX and TZA not in play at the moment. If the market does decide to roll over a bit, you may want to keep an eye on your TZA and TIVX. Here's your weekly performance in a visual on the sector performance. The S&P 500 up fractionally for the week. The strong sector, like we said, XLE strong. The XLK showing some strength here. XLV came in with a little bit of strength, so that's your visual on that. As far as your fear and greed index, we're at 72 on the fear and greed index. For the week coming up, as far as economic, pretty straightforward. We get some Fed speak this week. Jerome Powell spoke last week. He will not be presenting this week. So the main thing coming up for the week ahead is we get the jobs number out on Friday. This courtesy of the Trade Exchange, their calendar of events. We get the employment situation 8:30 on Friday, so that's a big event coming up on Friday. We also get the wholesale trade numbers coming out between U.S. and China. Other than that, pretty straightforward as far as economic information coming out. The nifty thing about this calendar is if you click on the earnings, you get a drop-down menu, and you can see the earnings coming out each and every day. And this, once again, courtesy of the Trade Exchange. I usually put this out on my Twitter feed under ZoZoStockWatch, and also under my StockTwits feed under ZoZoStockWatch if you'd like to get a link to that. As far as earnings coming up for the week ahead, we have Salesforce reporting earnings coming up. CRM will be reporting Monday after the bell. YY will be reporting Monday after the close. NIO, the electric car company, reporting before the bell on Tuesday. Target, TGT, symbol there. Kohl's will be reporting. Sienna will be reporting. We get some more retailers after the bell on Tuesday. Urban, Ross will be reporting. Dollar Tree before the open on Wednesday. BJ's Wholesale will be reporting Wednesday before the open. Some more retail earnings coming out, and Yext coming out, YEXT, symbol there after the bell on Wednesday. Plug Power reports before the bell on Thursday. Kroger's, GNC. After the bell on Thursday, we get Okta. It's in that software application space. Costco will be reporting. Polo Loco will be reporting, LOCO. Let's see, GERN, GERN will be reporting. American Outdoor, the old Smith & Wesson, will be reporting after the bell on Thursday. And then Big Lots will be reporting Friday before the bell. So that's some of your earnings coming out next week, courtesy of Earnings Whisper. Nifty site here, earningscast.com. For Monday, as far as earnings calls, you get Luna having their conference call at 8:30, BCRX at 8:30, MYOK will be on their conference call at 8:30, and as you can see, you get SPKE will have their conference call at under 4,000 over the weekend. Not much going on in Bitcoin. And lastly, just wanted to point out, coming out over the weekend from the Wall Street Journal, U.S. and China close in on a trade deal. This coming from the Wall Street Journal, March 3rd at 2:32 p.m. Eastern. That just hit the wires. China and the U.S. are in the final stage of completing a trade deal with Beijing offering to lower tariffs and other restrictions on American farm, chemical, and auto and other products. So that news coming from the Wall Street Journal. Some of your best stocks for the week that passed. We had Sparks Therapeutics, ONCE. They were acquired. That stock was up over 119% for the week. CMTA was also acquired, up almost up over 72% for the week. We had TGTX was up 51% for the week. Their phase 2 met primary endpoints for TGTX. And BMY was up over 4% on the week, and that was even after Wellington Management said doesn't support the Celgene deal, but BMY moving up 4% on the week. Wayfair having a very strong week after they released their earnings, up 13% for the week, letter W symbol there on Wayfair. PTLA had a very good week, up 12% on the week. AMC also climbing over 15% on the week. CORE moving up 15% on the week. GPS had a very strong week. They're going to split themselves up, splitting off Old Navy. Stock jumped 19% on the week. Zscaler with a very strong week, up 22% after they released their earnings. DDS climbing, retailer up 15% for the week. MGTX had a very strong week, up over 30% on the week for MGTX. HZNP, they had positive phase 3 news that came out on HZNP, up 33% for the week. PBYI, they had earnings result. They moved this stock up 46% on the week. LXRX, positive opinions came out from Europe on LXRX, moving this stock up 24% for the week. Some of the stocks that did not fare as well this week after earnings, Weight Watchers came out with earnings. WTW dropping 26% for the week. Fitbit, they lowered their guidance. Stock dropped 8% for the week. ZIXI, stock in the software application space, after they released earnings, the stock dropped 15%. BKNG had earnings that past week. Stock dropped 10% on the week. NTNX also released earnings, as you can see, down 37% for the week on NTNX. BOX lower about 18% after their earnings were disappointing. Watt came out with earnings. Stock dropped 40% on the week. WUBA came out with earnings. Stock dropped 10.5%. MRSN also falling 35% on that name. MYL dropping this week after their earnings, down 12%. We also had HPQ released earnings. That stock down 17% for the week. VTGU, they made an offering on this stock, so diluting their shares there, down 15% for the week. KPTI also dropping this week on KPTI, down 18% on the week. FDA waiting for more data The news that came out on KPTI, NVAX took a hit. NVAX phase 3 data did not meet the primary endpoints there. Stock dropped down 64%. MRSN, this stock dropped 35%. They're also doing an offering there. IMGN, phase 3 data did not meet their primary endpoints on IMGN. Stock dropped 56% for the week. That's some of your worst stocks for the All right, so let's go ahead and get into that watch list for the next few days for Monday. So I can go anywhere from an Apple all the way down to a YRIV, which is an under $1 stock. So first one up here is Apple AAPL. That stock looking for it to take out this 176 area on Apple. It's been basing here above the fast moving averages. So keep an eye on Apple. Possible swing trade in that name. Another name I'll be watching is ACRX. That stock getting a nice volume on Friday in ACRX. So we'll see if it can break up above that 375 area, or maybe some kind of red to green, which means a pullback and then a move back up on ACRX. That's in medical devices. AFMD looks interesting here. Popped up on Friday, volume about 1.1 million shares on Friday, and it's just under this $4 area. It is above the 50 moving average, so a nice close here also on AFMD. AKAM, possible swing trade idea here as it's coming up against the 200 SMA, poked its head up above it. We had a high on Acme at 71.49, so maybe a 71.60 for a possible swing trade in that name. AKBA also on watch next week, now holding below $8. Earnings come out on the 11th for this one, so just be aware of that, a biotech name. Now, small biotechs and the biotech sectors have been very strong, 1.1 million shares, so we'll see if this one has any move in it for the week ahead or tomorrow for Monday. APHA, cannabis name. A little disappointed in this candle here, but we are holding above 10 bucks. Let's see if we can get any kind of momentum back in this one to the upside. Let's check CGC. That one has that $50 resistance spot up ahead, so that one kind of pulled back from 50. But all the cannabis names are always on watch. CRON trying to get above and hold above $22. ACB, we actually did a swing trade in this one last week. Had to take it off. Was a little disappointed in the action. Thought it was going to get up through this $8 area. Just never got going, so we got back out. But ACB, we are pulling back to about the 10 SMA. Not my favorite. Probably stay with the leaders here, the Cronus, the CGC, TLRY also, although this one did not have a very good candle on Friday. So I think CRON and CGC are the main ones that I'll be watching. AQMS, a big pop on Friday, big expanding volume on AQMS, popped up almost to 375 here, pulled back from that 350 area, so maybe some kind of red to green move, a pullback move, and then a move up. Can't ignore that volume. With a big move, 1.2 million shares, came up to $35 area Friday, got up to about 34.62, so maybe 34.75 for this name bold. Now it is a biotech, so just be aware of that. Earnings come out not till May, so the biotechs have been very strong, so keep an eye on bold. BPTH, a big move percentage wise on on Friday. So you see the expanding volume in this one. I had to leave early, so I did not get a trade in this one on Friday. The one that I traded Friday before I left was CIFS, up 153%. Big move, gave us a real nice move on Friday. I think we made about 20 something percent on this name on CIFS. It's a China name, so this one will be on watch for tomorrow and the next few days. CNAT perking up a little bit. CNAT, 1.1 million shares, popped its head up. The high on Friday was 228. We'll see if there's anything in this one for tomorrow. Let's see, CRSP. Now, another biotech showing some strength, has this. 44 was a resistance spot on this name, and it's coming up to that $40 area. Maybe 40.10 is enough to get CRSP. Now, this thing can be intraday pretty wicked, or it can be spready. 1.9 million shares came into this thing. Maybe better off as a swing trade. Just remember, it is a biotech name, so adjust your position size accordingly. Fold had a very good day on Friday, 6 million shares. Maybe needs to quiet down a little bit on FOLD. Has that $14 area, round number up ahead. So maybe a couple of days, maybe an inside candle for Monday, and then we watch it again on Tuesday, that type of thing. Now with Neo coming out with earnings, right? You might get a earnings push here on Neo. Their earnings come out on Tuesday before the bell, so keep that in mind. If you intraday trade Neo, do not hold it overnight into earnings. 32 million shares came into it. It's flagging up here, holding above all these fast-moving averages. We've had a nice move, so Neo will be on watch. FUV, I don't really like the way it trades intraday, but if they do move these electric vehicle stocks, FUV could move. KNDI is another one that might want to make a further move up here. SOLO is the Canadian electric vehicle company. That one kind of quiet, but holding above the fast-moving averages. So keep your eye on NEO and KNDI. Those are kind of my two favorites in the sector. And of course, there's Tesla, TSLA. That stock having a little bit of issues right now. Elon Musk tweeting out things, and a lot of things going on with Tesla. So maybe folks pull some money out of Tesla and move it into this NEO. Now we have been up as high as over $14 on NEO. So I'll definitely be watching that one. QTT, another China name. It's been trying to get up over this 14 area for QTT. Keep an eye on that. JD also is another one that we traded Friday in the service. We had a very nice move in this one. Still holding below $30. Friday it got up as high as 29.39. So this one will be on WO. This one had 1.3 million shares. The high on Friday on TTOO 455. So if it can get up over this 455 area for TTOO, or we'll see if it sets up on an intraday chart for that one. TXMD, it looks like $6 break is a possibility here. TXMD, keep an eye on this one. 3.4 million shares traded on Friday. I like the look of this. Maybe it looks too good, right? Maybe it's too obvious. So we'll see on that one. UPS, if you like the bigger names, over this 112.50 area for UPS. Saw some call activity come into UPS on Friday. So keep an eye on this name, kind of a cup. Here's your handle. And it looks like if it can get up over this 112, also kind of a head and shoulder, right? Here's the head, here's a shoulder. So if it can break up over that 112.50 area, very Looking good. Volume 1.6 million shares on VERI. Has that $7 area up ahead. The high on Friday on this name was 6.98. So $7 could make it move. ZSAN, right? We've had these big pops. It's kind of flagging here right now on ZSAN. So I'm going to keep this one on watch. Maybe it needs to pull back a little bit more. But we traded this back what was it, last week when I had that migraine news, and we got a big move up in this one. So it's kind of quieting down, consolidating. Like I said, we need maybe this 10 SMA needs to catch up a little bit. Maybe it needs to pull back to maybe that 425, 450 area on ZSAN. And then lastly, YRIV. A big run into the close and in the after hours on Friday, I should say, in the after hours, a big move up on YRIV. So the daily doesn't look like very much. It's a 45-cent stock, but it got up to 60 cents. So it's an under $1 name if you like those stocks. So keep an eye on this one, YRIV. All right, buddy, this is Mike from Zozo Stock Watch, and that's your Let's Get Ready for the Week Ahead. So we have some economic data to keep an eye on. The trade talks will continue on between the U.S. and China. Friday, we had the China PMI numbers come out this last Friday, and those numbers were good, so that kind of moved the markets up. Powell testified last week on Tuesday and Wednesday before the Senate and the House, and basically said patience right now for the economy. So Powell is now out of the way this week. So overall, it was a good week for the bulls. They held up. I mean, the market is definitely a little bit stretched here. Maybe the buyers are a little bit tired. Keep this candle in mind on the weekly chart for the SPX. Let's see what they do here. I mean, it wouldn't be bad for the market to pause a little bit. But we'll see if that's going to happen, okay? Like I said, that news came out. U.S. and China are close to a trade deal. That came out from the Wall Street Journal, and Bloomberg also picking up on that story. So that could push the futures up tonight, and we could have a gap up morning for Monday morning. So we'll see. All right, buddy, have a good day trading for Monday. We'll be back at it with another video on Monday night for Tuesday. Hope everybody has a good day trading for tomorrow. This is Mike from ZoZoStockWatch.com.